Back from Arkansas, I saw cops every 5 miles. And now they're finally doing something that makes sense. They come up on the passenger side now instead of hanging their butts out in the middle of the highway to make the government a dime. And they tell these cops, you got to increase the revenue. We're going bankrupt to keep your job. You'll never keep your pension. No amount of money you could raise will ever pay for it. It's all a fraud. It all goes to the foreign offshore banks. Your local town, your city, your state, in hoc to them through fraud. And I see the cops' eyes seething on power trips and the way they approach cars. I probably saw 50 cop cars from Little Rock, Arkansas. Not Little Rock. I was close to Little Rock. From Hot Springs, Arkansas, down to Austin, Texas. I probably saw more than 50. And I'd watch their body language as they approach cars, all scared to death. And this weird little pity party cult they're in of how they're all in danger and, oh my gosh, the public wants to get you and everything. Meanwhile, your food, your water is all being spiked. It's all being manipulated. We're being sprayed with chemtrails. There was big articles last week. Oh, the government is going to start massive geoengineering. They've been doing tests for years, spraying barium, aluminum dioxide, and other salts into the air. It's highly toxic to humans. And now everything people told us 15, 16 years ago, 17 years ago, what the old-timers said chemtrails were, is exactly what they now announce. Just mass pell-mell insanity. We are living in a matrix-like system where you're like, I'd like you to unhook my OnStar. They're not listening to you, Alex. Yes, they are. Well, what do you got to hide, man? I have nothing to hide. These are criminals. And see, now they know that you've been so conditioned that they don't even mince words. I've got articles here where Facebook admits they're selling all your data. The government, I got articles today, admits, yeah, we're listening to your phone calls without warrants, non-terror related. Just 5 years ago, Bush got up in press conferences and said, that's ridiculous. We're not listening to any Americans without warrants. Then it came out months later they were. Now it's just like, yeah. Now it's in the news again. DynCorp, Halliburton, all these companies run giant child kidnapping rings. And they don't even have congressional hearings now. When they did 6 years ago, Rumsfeld said, yeah, they're doing that. And the Congress people are like, well, you going to do anything? And he goes, no. Multinational company. And then everybody gets so into being afraid of Obama. And it's so much fun to hate Obama. Looking for my stack here. It's so much fun to get into hating Obama and talking about him all day. Where is my stack of yesterday's news on that? I've got a new stack today on it. All these newspapers saying he needs to step down. He needs to not go for the nomination. And I hear all these Republicans on TV and radio laughing, going, man, the Democrats are in total disarray. The liberal drive-by media, they're so depressed right now. Ha, ha, ha. Their star Obama has fallen. I told you he was always meant to fall. Just like Rick Perry will be meant to fall. Just like Mitt Romney or Michelle Bachmann will be meant to fall. They're there to take the blame. They're there to say the buck stops here. They're there so we all have a Republican-Democrat fight. And you notice how they're talking about Rahm Emanuel and his scams and his getting paid off to do solar panel deals that never were. And that's just as they get ready to burn some little political dynasty while the big bosses sit up there and laugh about it to give the people a bone. They know you're angry about going from a wealthy nation to a poor nation, going into bondage. So they're going to tear down Obama for you. Or they're going to scare him into following orders to go along with the false flag. That's the two roads we're going down. New puppet president, Republicans will then go back to sleep and love all the tyranny, all the gains of the Obama people, just like the Obama people help continue all of the Bush stuff. Or they're going to go ahead and go with Obama and keep him in and bomb a bunch of stuff and blame it on domestic groups. They've already beta tested and had a full PR rollout that the evil folks that don't like the Federal Reserve and want to get rid of the New World Order and get out of the UN, well, we're terrorists. And it's this balancing act. So they're going to stage terror attacks and keep Obama in, or they're going to give you a new puppet. Or you get behind Ron Paul. And even if Ron Paul doesn't win, he wins by injecting real ideas. But you can believe the government mind trick and say Ron Paul can't win because of election fraud. I've talked to every expert out there, including people that work for the Diebold and other companies, and Bev Harris, you name it. They can't stop landslides. And if they do steal it, the evidence of it will come out. You've got to fight your enemy to learn their tricks and to show other people what the enemy's doing. You can't give up. You don't have a choice. It's a mind game. That's why they're flaunting all of this right now. They're trying to make you give up. 5 years ago, when I was first talking about Gardasil in 2006, no one was talking about it. No one. Now it's a national issue. And the entire establishment is backpedaling. But fleeing forward saying, we're going to shoot kids up in California, whether their parents like it or not. And they call it child consent. There's a reason it's called statutory rape if you have sex with a 16 or 17-year-old even. Or God forbid, younger. Because they aren't allowed to give consent because they're a minor. This is a basic precept of common law. So it is a forced inoculation. I saw an idiot made a comment on one of our stories saying, Jones is at it again, saying this is forced inoculations in California that's now on the governor's desk, that's passed. This is the children they're talking about as young as 9 years old. One article said 6. It's open for interpretation by the school district. Jones is at it again. Jones is saying that this is forced inoculation. Yeah, it's forced inoculation. It's kidnapping. If you pull up in front of somebody's house and say, hey, little boy, little girl, look at my puppy dog. I got some candy. Come on over here and get in the car. Just because you tricked the child to get in your car doesn't mean you're not going to go to the pen. If the child's lucky enough to ever be saved. You see, this is all common sense. People don't know it. That's why when they say all over the country, well, if you're 10-year-old or 11-year-old, and this is happening, wants to get an abortion, we won't tell mommy. We'll take you to the clinic. You got to get a letter for your child to be able to go to the zoo. Because, see, they don't care about the zoo. And in case your kid gets hurt, they want the liability on you. But the establishment wants that abortion to happen. And so they're going to go ahead and defend that no matter how many lawsuits they are. And it's the same thing going on with this bill on the governor's desk. It is forced inoculation. You get kids in there when they're 10 years old and show them movies and scary things, and this is going to happen made by Merck. Then you say, now, who wants it? Oh, look how brave Jenny is. She's the first to raise her hand. The nurse is ready for you. These are like people getting little kids to get in their pickup truck. Come here, little kid. I got some candy for you. These are hardcore criminals. But see, they got Perry to lie and say it's the law, I'm going to make you take shots, and that hoax got exposed. Now they're actually trying to make it the law in California.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Alex Jones here with vital information concerning our nation's fragile food supply. Folks, there are some truly dangerous trends forming, and I think it's important for my listeners to do 3 things right away. Number 1, study the past. History really does repeat itself. Number 2, learn to spot the dangerous food shortage trends. Number 3, take decisive action. A perfect storm is brewing for a global food crisis. That's why I'm telling everyone to read the new book, Rising Prices, Empty Shelves. Warning signs that trigger the deadliest famines in history. Don't get caught unprepared when the crisis hits. This book is only available at risingpricesemptyshelves.com. You'll also get a free copy of Supermarket Survival, How to Cut Your Grocery Bills in Half. Again, that website is risingpricesemptyshelves.com. That's risingpricesemptyshelves.com. Alex Jones here with vital information concerning our nation's fragile food supply. Folks, there are some truly dangerous trends forming, and I think it's important for my listeners to do three things right away. Number one, study the past. History really does repeat itself. Number two, learn to spot the dangerous food shortage trends. Number three, take decisive action. A perfect storm is brewing for a global food crisis. That's why I'm telling everyone to read the new book, Rising Prices, Empty Shelves. Warning signs that trigger the deadliest famines in history. Don't get caught unprepared when the crisis hits. This book is only available at risingpricesemptyshelves.com. You'll also get a free copy of Supermarket Survival, How to Cut Your Grocery Bills in Half. Again, that website is risingpricesemptyshelves.com. That's risingpricesemptyshelves.com.
You take a mortal man.
All right, Joe in Ohio, listening on WAIS 770 AM,
And put him in control.
disagrees, so he'll go to the head of the line. We weren't going to have a lot of guests on today, but popping in later in the hour, we got Lord Monckton on with some of the biggest environmentalist fraud ever they've just been caught in. This just broke yesterday, and we've got new developments on it. They've been caught putting out fake maps showing Greenland melting, and it turns out they just created a fake map and claimed that an island that didn't exist now exists. We're going to get to all of it. It's just amazing. Luke Rudkowski in studio. Michael Allison, the guy facing life in prison for filming police in public in Illinois. The charges have been dropped despite the fact that the state wanted him prosecuted. The judge actually had a soul. Wow, that's good news. So, again, it's a battle between good and evil. When good doesn't take the field, this is able to happen. So another jam-packed broadcast. I want to go to your calls. Also, don't forget, we're funded by your purchases of books, videos, T-shirts at Infowars.com. We know the economy has completely collapsed. That's why we're offering Terror Storm, History Government-Sponsored Terror, and Martial Law 911. Both of these films for $9.95, and both these films are over 2 hours long. Martial Law is over 3 hours. It's really 3 films. Terror Storm's amazing as well. 2 films, $9.95, available at Infowars.com. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Joe in Ohio, listening on 770 AM. Welcome, sir. You disagree? You're at the head of the line.
I do, and I'm a first-time caller. I do have a lot of respect for you. I've been an activist for over 30 years, actually, and we're fighting a good fight. I'm also a veteran, so I take my oath to the Constitution very seriously. And I feel your pain. I think a lot of us do. You know, you say you're so frustrated, and that leads to anger. And my concern is then that can lead to fear. We need focus, not fear. So what I disagree with is what I believe is your sense of humor. You tend to get facetious. You use sarcasm and go on and on and on, and I think it dilutes your message. I
agree with you. Listen, I get... What happens is I read this news for hours at night, hours in the morning, and by the time I get on air, it's just so outrageous that OnStar is tracking you and selling your data to the government illegally. It's so outrageous that they're shooting the troops up with all sorts of experimental vaccines, and that's illegal, by the way. They can make you take a accepted shot, but not a, if you're in the military, but not a experimental. All of this, I want it to stop. I want off the roller coaster. I want the ride to end. I want people to wake up. And so